The Legend of the Dipper. This illustration is called The Big Dipper. The story is by Carolyn Sherwin Bailey. Carolyn Sherwin Bailey was the principal of an elementary school and wrote stories for her students. In this adaptation of an old legend, a girl hurries to bring water for her mother in a tin dipper, a large spoon with a long handle. As you read, take notes on the little girl's actions on her way back with the water. Now, we're going to preview some vocabulary from the bottom. Let's look real quick and then we can listen for these words as we read. First one is spring. A spring is a source or supply of water. Lap. One meaning of the word lap is for an animal to drink liquid with its tongue. Garments. Garments are another word for clothing. Faint. One meaning for faint is to feel weak and dizzy. Hasten. In the story, we hear the word hastened. It means to hurry. Blaze. In the story, we hear the word blazing, and that means to burn brightly. There was once a little girl who had a dear mother, and they lived quite alone in a little house in the woods. They were always very happy, but one day the mother grew so ill that it seemed as if she could never be strong and well again. "I must have a drink of clear, cold water," she cried as she lay in bed, so weak and suffering from thirst. It was a dark night, and there was no one near to ask for water, so the little girl took her tin dipper and started out alone to the spring to bring her mother a drink. She went a long way through the woods, and she ran so that she grew very tired, being such a tiny girl, but she filled her tin dipper at the spring and started home. Sometimes the water spilled because it was not easy to carry, and sometimes the little girl stumbled over the stones in the dark road. All at once she felt a warm touch upon her hand, and she stopped. It was a little dog who had been following her, for he too was nearly dying of thirst, and he had touched her hand with his hot tongue. The little girl looked at her dipper. There was only a very little water in it, but she poured a few drops into her hand and let the thirsty dog lap them. He seemed as refreshed as if he had been to the river to drink. And a wonderful thing happened to the tin dipper, although the little girl did not see. It was changed to a silver dipper with more water in it than before. The little girl started on again, hurrying very fast, for she remembered how much her mother needed her. But she had not gone very far when she met a stranger in the road. He was tall and wore shining garments, and his eyes looked down with a wonderful smile into the girl's face. He reached out his hand for the dipper, and he begged for a drink of the clear, cold water. Now the little girl thought how her mother had told her that she should always be kind to a stranger, so she held the water up to his lips. And very suddenly, as the stranger drank, the silver dipper was changed into a gold dipper, full to the brim of sparkling water. The little girl hurried on, but the road was so very long, and she was so tired that it seemed as if she could never reach home again. She was weak and faint, and she longed to drink just a few drops of the water, but no, her mother would need all that was left. Had she not given some to the thirsty dog and to the stranger? So she never took a drink for herself, but hastened home and carried it to the dear mother. And then came the greatest wonder of all. As soon as the dear mother drank, she became quite well and strong once more, and the gold dipper, as it touched her lips, was changed to a diamond dipper, all shining and blazing with glittering gems. And the diamond dipper left her fingers to shine up in the sky, over the house and the woods. There it shines every night to tell all little children how, once, a child was brave and unselfish and kind.